Hi everyone, can you hear me? Hi Susan. Good morning to Joyce. Hi Rachel, hope you well. Yes, I'm well, thank you. Hi Maria. So if somebody could just let me know if you can hear me. Oh, I've just seen it now. Susan saying yes, can hear you. And Eddie's feet on the floor. Yeah, Hannah has just literally come in and gone out. So he's running backwards and forwards. Hi Alison, how are you doing? Rachel saying can hear me loud and clear. Maria's saying being a cool but sunny day in Caerphilly, South Wales. Yeah, it's been like that here as well, Maria. It was nice and sunny this morning. Cold but sunny. Hi JD Cougar. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Hope you are. Hi Heather. Christine saying can hear me loud and clear. Brilliant. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Let me get rid of this. I didn't have anything particular planned for today. To be honest with you, it's actually becoming harder and harder for me to come up with things to go over. But a lady called, now I've written a name on a piece of paper somewhere, hang on. It's on this pad somewhere. Okay, so a lady called Carol, don't know if she's on here or not, don't think I've seen a Carol, but she asked a question this week on, I'm not so sure if it was last week's live or on another video, but I know she's asked me a question in the last couple of days. And she wanted to know how to open more than one file in Canvas Workspace for computer as opposed to Canvas Workspace online. So I replied, but I thought we'd kind of just go over that because it's different depending on what type of file you're opening. And then obviously if anybody else has got any other questions along the way, we'll see if between us we can, you know, come up with an answer or a solution. So let me just see. So Barbara is saying, hello everyone, hope you're well. Ashley, yes I am, thank you. And that puppy too. Yeah, this puppy, I tell you, is absolutely trying my patience. He's absolutely adorable. He's handsome. Everybody that sees him loves him. In fact, somebody offered to buy him off me in Pets at Home today. But bite, he is biting like mad. And although he tries it with Hannah, he proper tries to bite me and growls. So I've literally like kind of got to the end of my tether with him this week. So I took him to Pets at Home this morning while Hannah was out at a golf comp that she was in, and he needed some more food, so I've got him some food. I've bought a spray that you can spray on things to stop them chewing because he started chewing the wood on the side of my stairs. So I've sprayed all my stairs with that and touching wood at the moment since this afternoon. That seems to have stopped that. And what else have I bought? I bought something else, but I can't remember. So I'm hoping that the spray will help. I've had a strong word with him this morning. In fact, I totally ignored him this morning for ages, and he didn't like that. And he's just been sat on my knee. He woke up and wanted to get on my knee, so I picked him up and put him on my knee, and he was being pretty much good. So we'll see. I'm just going to close the door 1 minute because the door's open. And it's a bit chilly with this door open. So let's just say it's a bit of a love-hate relationship at the moment. Right, let me go back to Alison. Thank goodness to be on the other side of the operation. Oh my gosh, the pain. It went very well. Can't stop crying from the pain. Oh, bless you, Alison. That's awful. That's what I was like with my back. I know exactly how that is. So hopefully, Eddie, what are you doing? So hopefully, if you can get some strong medication, that'll help you, Alison. Terry's saying hello from Dallas, Texas, so hi to Terry. I need this me tonight. Oh, bless you. Well, as I say, nothing particularly sparkling tonight, but we'll go over it. We can just sit and have a chat, and I can moan about Eddie. You can tell us all about your pain, bless you, and we can all try and make you feel better. Your surgeon said it was going to be painful. Oh no. Rachel's saying my cat still bites me and she's 7. Oh, don't tell me that, Rachel, else he'll be going on eBay. Get a small spray bottle and fill with water. It worked with mine. I read that, funnily enough, Karine, thank you for that. I read that, I googled this morning, but I couldn't find an empty bottle in Pets at Home. And being as though I was on my own with him, there's a Tesco over the way, but I didn't want to leave him in the car on his own, and I don't think you can take dogs in Tesco. So tomorrow morning he's going to daycare, and while he's in daycare I'm going to see if I can get a spray bottle and try that. So thank you for that. Try laying lemon down. Okay. Are you going to come and sit with me and be good? Right, if you come and sit with me, you can be good. Come on then. No, you can't bark at me. I've got people to talk to. Why are you growling at me? Well, come on then if you want to come up. Let's stop it now. Right, everybody can hear you. They can all hear you barking and growling. So now he's jumping up at me because I'm sat on my chair and I'm trying to pick him up and he's growling. So what's that all about? Right, let's see what we're saying. So Barbara's saying the only way I know rebiting is to say no very strongly and immediately give him a toy to chew and saying good boy. Yeah, I've been trying that, Barbara. JD Cougar's saying that she's glad that Alison can be with us. So yeah, that's good. Marcia's saying good morning. Love just having a visit with everyone. So that's fine. I've been gone. Alison, what surgery did you have? Paracetamol and codeine works for a couple of hours. That's what I was on, Alison, for my back, but I had to get my codeine, what do you call it, like the grams, I had to get them upped because the first lot of codeine they gave me with the paracetamol literally only worked for a couple of hours and then it was awful. So the doctor upped the dosage. So maybe, see if you can get a higher dosage, or but by the sounds of it, you're in an awful lot of pain. You may already be on a high dosage. Use a bottle from your craft room. It worked for our family pet. The only bottle I've got, to be fair, that's empty is one that's had like a bit like a Febreze. Like is it the B&M alternative to Febreze or whatever it's called? I've just emptied one of those, but I didn't, even though I've washed it out, I didn't think I should really use that because it's had like a kind of disinfectant kind of thing in it. But I'm definitely going to try and get an empty spray bottle tomorrow. I did have a small spray bottle in my craft room and I can't find it for the life of me. So I've no idea. I did look for that this morning. I'm getting jealous. He's found a coaster now and he's sat on the mat by the door chewing a coaster. So I think I'm just going to have to go with that while we do this live. He sounds jealous because you're turning your back on him. Has heat helped Alice and Rachel's saying? Marcia's saying it's lovely in Iowa today, but going to turn cold tonight. Yeah, I think we're meant to be getting cold here in the UK this week. I'm not sure. Right, so let's just have a quick look at this opening files, and then we can just sit and chat if that's okay with everybody. Because as I say, I've not got anything specific to do apart from this was a question that literally has come in the last couple of days. So the lady's question was, how do I open more than one file in Canvas Workspace for computer? She says she knows how to do it online, but she couldn't do it for computer. So let's just go to online first and we'll just go back to basics and just have a bit of a recap. So this, you should be able to see on my screen now, is Canvas Workspace. Let me make it a bit bigger. Online, okay. So if you've already got files that you've already saved in your projects, don't want that. No, this isn't on, that's for computer. This is online, sorry, wrong one. Right, so I'm in Canvas Workspace online now. You should be seeing it in a few minutes. I'm going to open a new blank page. So this is the cloud-based version, okay? So if you've already worked on a file in the online version and you've already saved it, so you gave it a name up here under project title, and you use this icon here, which I think says overwrite this project, which I still think is named wrong. It should be save or resave, something like that. Then your files will appear here on the left under my projects. So you would then choose a file and it drops into the top left hand corner of your page. So I'll just move that one out of the way, and then I'll just scroll down and just see what other smallish files I've got in here that I can open. So let's just do this one. This one was the gnome bits and pieces that I made that sewing project with a while ago. So that's easy. Online, you just come to your projects and you've got them here. Obviously, you've got to have saved them into your projects first. So if you come to the top of the page where it says Canvas Workspace, I'm going to say yes, leave the page, and you come to my projects. All your projects are here. So you've basically created a file from a blank page, you've given it a name, and you've used that overwrite. Once you use that overwrite, then when you come to open a new blank page, they're all here in your projects, and that's how you open more than one file. I think she wanted to combine 2 files to work on, okay? So in the online, it's easy. So now I'm just going to pop that to the back, because this one now, excuse me, is the Canvas Workspace for computer. And for anybody that's new, if you don't know the difference, basically the way to tell is that the one for computer has these icons down here over on the right hand side, which are like your edit, and I've got the rhinestone here because I've got that activated. You've got your layer tab, and it just looks slightly different. Okay, let me see what we're saying. Alice and Dee say, Marcia, I did the splits in March on our decking and my knee popped, torn the ACL and damaged the MCL, crucial can't even say that, crucial ligaments. Hi Ashley, hope you're feeling better. Sorry I'm late, just finished dinner. Don't worry Lynn, it's fine. Not particularly doing anything special tonight, just answering a question that somebody asked me a few days ago because I couldn't actually think of anything else to do. Yeah, it is painful for Alison, isn't it? Start physio tomorrow. Oh, that'll be good. That might be painful as well, Alison, at first, but hopefully it will start to get better for you. Okay, so I'm in now Canvas Workspace for computer. So to open 2 files in Canvas Workspace for computer is a little bit more confusing because Canvas Workspace for computer, you can save your files 2 ways. You can save them as a CWPRJ, which is basically a Canvas Workspace project working file, or you can save it as an FCM file, but you don't save it, you have to export it. And this is where I think it gets a bit confusing. Can you input files from a USB stick and then save into the cloud-based online version? Yes, Heather, you'd plug the USB stick into your computer, and then in the online version, I'll just flick back, you'd come to this SVG tab here, you'd select the SVG tab, and where it says choose file, you'd select choose file, and then you'd navigate to your USB stick and choose your file from there and then upload. Okay, so that's how you do it that way. So I'm going to cancel that and I'm going to go back now to the computer based version. Sorry I'm flicking from one to the other, but hopefully it will start to make sense. So this is the computer based version and I've just got a blank screen. Okay, Alison, it's fine, don't worry. You know, that's what we're here for. As I say, nothing particularly special to do tonight, so we can just have a chat about anything and everything. Don't worry about it. So, Canvas Workspace for computer, blank page. So, if you come up to the top of the page, you've got new, open, open recent, you've got save, save as, import from computer, import from your cutting machine. So that's if you've got a file on your machine that you then go to save and you choose that icon that looks like a little laptop with a Wi-Fi. That sends that file over this way, and then you've got your export options. So if we go to file open, because I think this is what Carol was doing, on my desktop I've got 2 Canvas Workspace project files just saved. I saved them. I've got the one from last week from the live, and then I just went and found one that I'd got saved on my computer and I dragged it onto my desktop. So when you get to file open, the only files it will let me open are the working files. So the files that have got the CWPRJ extension. So that's this one here, which is a rhinestone. And when I select it, it gives me the option to open it, and it'll only let you open one at a time. So if I just open this for now, that brings the rhinestone Canvas Workspace project file that I've just got saved on my desktop now onto my mat. Now if I go back to file and open and say I want to choose the file from last week's live, which is this one here, shapes on path livestream.cwprj, and choose that and choose open, it opens that, but not with the rhinestone file. Okay, and this is where it's a bit confusing. So what you have to do is what I've already done. So I'm just going to get rid of those, but I'll show you how to do it in a minute. So I'm just going to clear the mat. So you go to file and you go to import from computer. Now I can choose an FCM file. So I've got 2 FCM files saved on my desktop. So one's an envelope and one is a new mini wine bottle box, which is a new cutting file available in my cutting file shop. So if I go to the C5 envelope, FCM this time, not the working file, and choose open, it will open that envelope. Now, with that still sat there on my mat, if I go to file and back down to import from computer and go and find the other FCM file, which is my wine bottle file, and select open, it will open it. So I've now got two files open at the same time. Here's the envelope and here's the other file, okay? And that's because they are FCM files, so they are proprietary ScanNCut files. So you have to use file, import from computer, or input from cutting machine, FCM file. So if it's a file that's on your cutting machine, you can send it over and open it, and then you could go and open another one on your cutting machine and send that one over and open it and import it. But they've got to be FCM files to open more than one. So if I just get rid of these now, and let's just go back to file and open, and I'm going to look for that rhinestone cutting file, which is the working file, CWPRJ, and say open. It's asking me, do I want to make changes to the previous file, and I don't, so I'm going to leave that. So this is the Canvas Workspace working file, okay? To be able to open this and the files from last week, which were a cutting file, I've got to save these as FCM files. So this is where it's a bit confusing. So this is the CWPRJ. So if I now go to file and export and choose export FCM file, rather than, I don't want to send it to my machine, I want to make this working file an FCM file. So I'm going to use export to machine. I'm going to call it Apple Lover Rhinestone, and I'm just going to add FCM onto the end, and I'm going to save it onto my desktop. And I'm only adding FCM onto the end because obviously I've got more than one, and I just want to be able to identify it for the live. So I'm going to click save. Then I'm going to come back to file and open, Eddie, and I'm going to find last week's Shapes on Path CWPRJ working file and say open. That will get rid of the Apple Lover 53 because it won't let me open two working files. And then if I go file, export, it's just giving me a warning that some of the tiny bits may be removed. Some objects are outside, and that's the heart. So if I choose that and drag it onto the mat, hopefully everything else is on the mat. So if we go file, export, say yes, that's okay, and say export FCM file. And this is called Shapes on Path live stream, and I'll just add FCM onto the end of it again, just so I can identify it. And I'm going to save it on my desktop and say save. So now, if I move all these out of the way, I'm not sure how well you'll see this, but I've now got Shapes on Path FCM, and I should have Rhinestone FCM, both saved onto my desktop. So now, if I come back to Canvas Workspace for computer and come to the Canvas Workspace for computer and come to file and open, file, import from computer, it's now going to give me the FCM files I've just saved. So here's Apple Lover 53 Rhinestone FCM, open. In fact, let me just clear all this because I've got too many things on there. Let's start again. So Canvas Workspace for computer, file, import from computer, FCM, open. So that's the Rhinestone file, and then go file, import from computer, and find the shapes on path FCM and open, and that will open. So that's how you can open more than one file in Canvas Workspace for computer. They've got to be FCM files. So if you've saved them as working files, you need to open the working file by using file open and then save it as an FCM. Does that make sense? Right, let me come back because I have purchased an SVG file and would like to change the writing. I have managed to delete the Merry Christmas from the centre, but it will not let me weld a different Merry Christmas. Any suggestions? Off the top of my head, Corrine, no. I think I'd need to be able to see the file. Hi, Ellen. Don't worry. I'm literally just not doing very much, just answering somebody's question from a few days ago about opening more than one file in Canvas Workspace for computer. Right, so Lynn is saying someone mentioned that there are now FCN files as well as FCM files. Can you tell me the difference? Yes, Lynn, I did a live, I think it was, on that. Either earlier this year or last year. They're the files that you open from the activation cards. I think I showed you using one of the Disney Toy Story files from memory. If you go to here on YouTube, if you go to the live stream playlist, it will be in one of those live streams I did. I don't know. Do you remember when we were in lockdown and I was doing Wednesdays and Sundays and then I just went to Sundays? It'll be in one of them. I don't know which one, but I think it was using the Toy Story shapes. And I showed you a workaround on how to be able to use them. Hi, Cherie. Hello everyone. I was just about to log out and go to bed, then I saw you were on. Oh, bless you, Cherie. Well, it'll be recorded, so if you need to go to bed or want to go to bed, you can always come back and watch it. So Thea is saying hello, Ashley and everyone, very late, just as I was logging on, the phone rang, so we'll have to catch up later. Don't worry, as I say, should be being recorded. Thanks, Ashley, very well explained. Oh, brilliant. So Cherie's saying it's 3:30 a.m. Oh my days. Hi Leslie, hope you're okay. Don't worry about it, it's fine. It should be recorded, like I keep saying. I am sleeping weird hours since my surgery, Cherie's saying. I sleep half the day sometimes, so I don't get tired until later. Oh, bless you. Sorry, must have missed that one. Lynn, as I say, I think I may have covered it more than once. I honestly can't remember, but I seem to think I definitely covered it with the Toy Story, with the Woody and what's the girl called in the Toy Story? I think it was those two characters I may have used. So if you look through the live streams and look at the thumbnails, hopefully you'll be able to look for those. Or the other way to do it probably, Lynn, is if once you're in my YouTube channel, find the magnifying glass, which is the search, and type in FCN and see what comes up. Rachel's saying, hope you're recovering well. Yeah, that's both of you poorly. You vaguely recall it now, okay. Yes, thanks, Rachel. Hi, Ashley. I joined Stamping Up this week. Happy. Oh, brilliant. Did you take up the joining offer then, Cherie? Because there's a good joining offer on at the moment, isn't there? I don't know what the dollar or if you know, currency is in other countries, but it will basically amount to the same. So here in the UK, the starter kit has been reduced at the moment to £75, and you choose £130 worth of product, so it will equate to that in, you know, other markets. So that's good, Cherie, well done. Heather's saying, this is great, Ashley, learning so much. Is there a limit to how many files you can keep on the online version? I've had to resort to USBs as one can't save many files on the SDX. So in the online version, Heather, as far as I'm aware, no, because it's cloud-based. So I would always say, even if you create a file in your computer-based version, I would always come and open it in online anyway and save it there, and it just gives you like a backup. For the ScanNCut machine itself, I know on Create and Craft they always used to say 80 mats worth, but I believe that's not right. I have a feeling, and I can't remember the exact, but I have a feeling it's something like maybe 1.5 to 2 gigabytes worth of storage on the CM models, and it's either 2.5 or 3 gigabytes on the SDX, which I think I remember working out with Makers one time, and we worked it out and it's a lot less than 80 mats worth. So there is a limit to obviously the storage on your computer, but basically, on your machine. But basically what I do, I tend to save things onto the machine for when I want, you know, if I've made them in one of the canvases, I send them over and I save them onto the machine while I cut them. Or if I'm doing like lives with you guys, I'll save them onto the machine. And then every now and again, I just open a file up and I delete it, so to clear off memory. So there is a limit to how many files you can save on your ScanNCut machine. Obviously the limit to what you can save on your computer is based on the storage on your computer, but I think the online, I mean, I've been doing this 7 years probably now, and all my files are saved online. So I would say online is the way to go. You know, just like I say, even if you create the file in the computer, even if you save your file, make your file in your computer-based version, save it as an FCM like I've just shown you how to do, and then go to Canvas Online, come to your SVG icon once you've got a new blank page open, choose where it says choose file, and then we'll just go to that rhinestone file I've just made, FCM, upload, say OK, it opens on the mat, and then I can save it here where it says project title. So I could put Apple Lover 53 rhinestone, and then I could choose the icon here which says overwrite this project, which is basically save, and it says saving this project is complete. So I'd say OK, then I either come back here and come to my projects, or I come to Canvas Workspace and my projects, and it will be here. So if you know, I know it might be an extra step uploading your file to the cloud-based version or the online version, but you've always got a backup. Right, let me see what Cherie's saying. So yeah, okay. I bought a full set of cardboard and got everything. Okay. Alison's saying it says 1 year ago FCN. Okay. So it was last year. So it was in lockdown then, wasn't it? It was in one of the lockdowns probably. Or one of the, like I say, it'd be one of the, I have a feeling it was one of the lives that we did it in. So thanks for that, Alison. Brilliant. I have a dedicated hard drive that holds all my designs, Lynn's saying. So yeah, that's another option. You can have like an external hard drive. You could use a series of USBs. So for instance, you could have a USB for, say, shaped cards. You could have a USB for fabric, you know, something like that. Name your USBs. But like I say, if you back them up to the cloud, if you haven't got an external drive or you're running out of USB storage, put them in the online version. Leslie's saying, I have only just realised you can send files from the machine to Canvas. Yeah, you can. So basically, once you've got a file in your machine, I think I did show how to do this a couple of Sundays ago. With this, it might have been last week. Was it the snowflake? I opened a snowflake that was in the machine, and I showed you how to save it, and we opened it in Canvas, didn't we? I think it was it last week because I used the snowflake, or was it the week before? I can't remember. So yeah, you can. And on the other side, you can, you know, when you're here in Canvas Workspace, you can send a file from here to your machine. So you can send them backwards and forwards. I think it's confusing because when you're using the computer-based version, if you let's just get rid of this. I'm in the computer-based version now. So let's just grab a scallop square just for argument's sake. If I go to the top of the page and I go File, Save, or File, Save As, that will save this file as a working file, not an FCM cutting file. So if I just call this SCOL, is that how you spell scallop? I don't know. Anyway, if I say scallop, desktop, and save, and move everything out of the way, here is that scallop, and it's saved it as a Canvas Workspace project file. So to save it as an FCM file, you don't just go File and Save or File and Save As. You have to do this export. So you export it either directly to your ScanNCut machine, and it will send it over as an FCM, or you export it as an FCM to your computer. Whereas in Canvas, everything you make and save is an FCM file, or I should say in Canvas Online. It's slightly different with the computer-based version. You can save two ways. Let's see what Cherie's saying. I wish there was a way to reset the number back to 0001 on the machine. I know it's a pain, isn't it? Because like I saved, what did I do? Oh, my mini wine bottle box that I was test cutting, I think on Friday, and I saved it into my machine, and it saved it as something like file 299, but I've literally only probably got maybe 2 or 3 pages worth of files, which is nowhere near 299. So even when you delete them, it will just carry on giving them a number following on from the last one you saved. So yeah, I wish we could do that as well. It is a bit of a pain. Or I wish we could actually save them as a name, you know, on the machine. I mean, I know we can save them as a name here in the canvases and then send them over, but sometimes I wish we could just save them as a name on the machine as well. So Leslie's saying, I use that to send file back to Canvas to ungroup Dreaming Tree files. Yeah, like I say, it's handy to be able to, you know, send them backwards and forwards, but you've just kind of got to be mindful if you're using the computer-based version and you want to open more than one file, it won't open them if you've saved them as the working file. That's the simplest way to remember them. Just, they've got to be an FCM file. Leslie's saying, just drop my external hard drive, won't work now. Oh no. And Linda Lee's saying, sorry, late again from New York State. Don't worry, Linda. Basically, I didn't particularly have anything to go over, just for anybody that's joined late. And a lady called Carol a couple of days ago asked me a question on YouTube about how to open more than one file in the computer-based version. So that's what I'm just showing how to do tonight. And we've just had a bit of a natter about me having a moan about Eddie just wanting to bite chunks out of me. And we've been sympathising with Cherie and Alison D, who are both recovering from I was going to say incidents. It's not incidents, is it? And it's not even accidents. Well, I suppose it is accidents, isn't it? Or operations is probably a better word. So yeah, so we're not doing anything in particular, Linda. But it is being recorded. I've been on for about 40, I think it's saying getting on for 43 minutes. It is being recorded, so you can always go back and watch it from the start. Let's see what Lynn's saying. It's no wonder people give up. It's so confusing. It is confusing. I find it confusing. I have to literally go back and kind of work it out myself because my memory's shocking as well. When you first start, brother, don't make anything simple, do they? I know. Interactivity would be very useful. I know. I think it was so simple, wasn't it? With the online version, everything was dead simple. We basically created a file online. We saved it online. It saved it as an FCM file, which we know is our proprietary, ScanNCut machine cutting file. And we could, either save it onto a USB stick and put that in the machine, or, if we've got wireless, we can send it over wireless. But then obviously people wanted to be able to do more. They wanted to be able to, use their own fonts that are on the computer, wanted to be able to use or have the facility to use text on path like we were talking about in previous videos and like we went over last week. And I don't know why those facilities can't be made available in online, but for whatever reason, they've not given them us in the online version, but then they came out with the computer-based version. I can see obviously why they came out with the computer-based version, because that's how we need to be able to use the fonts that are installed on our computer. But it would have just been so much easier if they'd have just, instead of giving us this save or save as option where it saves as a working file, just have one, export to FCM, and then that would have hopefully made things more simplified. That, to be honest, there are many times I make things in the computer-based version and I go to the top and I go file save, and then I realise that afterwards that it's not an FCM file, it's just a working file, and I have to go back and remind myself that I've got to export it. You do it automatically, don't you? Because I think in most other programs we use, if we use word processing packages or we use spreadsheets, you tend to always use file save, don't you? So it's a kind of natural instinct to go, to the top of your page when you see file, to go to save or save as. It doesn't come as natural to go to file export. Maybe if we were creating something and we wanted to make it a PDF file, we would use export. But in most of the day-to-day programs that we use on our computers, you generally just do file save, don't you? So it is a bit confusing. Maybe they will change it at some point. maybe they won't. I honestly don't know. Right, let's see what we're saying. Linda Lee's saying, thank you so much for the update on what I miss. You're welcome, Linda, that's fine. I know sometimes I do repeat myself several times, and I'm sure people are rolling their eyes, but I do like to, I know people don't, people drop in at all different times, so I do like to kind of let you know if you've come in late what we are doing or what we're trying, and then if it's not something you're interested in, you can, go and tune out and watch somebody else. So Rachel's saying on the shopping channels, I need to scroll back for this one. Rachel's saying on the shopping channels, when selling them, they don't explain much. It's only because of Ashley that I've learned. Oh, bless you, Rachel. I think, with the shopping channels, I think they're there to sell, aren't they? And I suppose they've only got a limited amount of time. But I do think that a lot of the information that they gave out over previous years, a fair bit of it I think has been a bit misleading. So it is difficult, especially then for somebody that's new, maybe hasn't found, because there's not just me, is there, on YouTube doing this, all right, I've been doing it, like I say, probably 7 years now. There's Julie Faye Van Bolzer, who's a Brother ambassador. I mean, I have nothing to do with Brother, for anybody that might be new, or, if you're just watching and you don't take part in the chat. I have nothing to do with Brother or anybody else. I, bought my ScanNCut machines, and, I just play about and learn how to do stuff. Obviously, the people on the shopping channels have got an invested interest, and the ambassadors have got an invested interest. But there are other people out there that, do ScanNCut videos. So for anybody that, is maybe new to the ScanNCut, and they maybe haven't found anybody, and they're just going off what a shopping channel said, it is difficult. You can see why a lot of people either don't get them out of the box, or they get them out of the box and then they give up on them, because there is a massive learning curve. I mean, when I first got my very first craft robo, I can't begin to tell you the hours and days and weeks and months and years that I spent playing around with software and asking questions myself online to try and learn how to do stuff. It's not, I didn't wake up one day and know this stuff. I've had to learn it. And that's why I pass on what I know and I forget half of it. So, I have to have a recap myself. Alison's saying stupidity, Ashley doing the ruddy splits at my age. Oh, bless you. So Leslie's saying, luckily I can get all my files back from Dreaming Tree. Okay, because they're probably saved on there for you in your files on Dreaming Tree, yeah. But lost all the FCM computer. You've lost. Oh no. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if you use the cloud-based version, if you use the online version as a backup, even if you forget, but you remember every now and again, or you've got a spare half an hour, just open your files in the computer-based version and then use the file, export them, and then open them in online and save them there just as a backup. Because like Leslie says, she's got an external drive, but she dropped it and she can't get the files off it now. So Maria's saying, Ashley has helped me love my machine by teaching me to use it. Oh, bless you, Maria. Cherie's saying they rushed it to try and stay ahead of cricket. Yeah, probably. Lynn is saying, I've ended up with a brand new machine, SDX 2250D, I had quite a lot of problems with my SDX 2200D, so they replaced it. Wow. Don't know if you remember me talking about a double. Yes, I do. With the update, so they've changed the machine complete. Well, that at least you've got a new machine, so that's good. I do, Lynn, because I actually spoke to somebody at Makers and I said that you'd raised it because I think you raised it in one of the Sunday Night Lives, didn't you? And I asked if anybody there, because they all use the Disney machine, and I asked them if any of them had done the update and if they'd had any problems, and had mentioned that you'd been having a problem, and I said that I'd told you to contact them. So yes, Lynn, I do remember. So that's good. Well, you've got a new machine. So I'm assuming, Lynn, that one's cutting fine for you. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So Leslie's saying she helped me get mine out of the box after 2 years gathering dust. Bless you. Alison D's saying nowadays we have to save in several places. Yeah, I just think it's a good idea. I mean, I've probably got files that I created in the computer-based version that I need to still upload, but I do try, and when I make a file in Canvas for Computer, I try to save it as a working file and export it as an FCM. And what I do, I export it and save it to my desktop, and then when I get some time, or I create a file on my desktop and I drop them all in there, and then when I get some file, I open the online version and I just, I open a new page, and then I use that SVG icon, find where I've saved the file, and I bring them in, and then I resave them. So I do try my best to save online. So Marcy is saying, I have just bought a Joy. I use the Brothers software to do all my changes. The Cricut design space just seems so limited to me. Okay. So the Joy is the little one, isn't it? Is it like that it cuts vinyl and that kind of thing? Marcia is saying, I wish Brother would come out with a smaller machine. So Lynn is now saying, so Creative Concept Crafts is Lynn, isn't it? I've probably been calling you the wrong name for the last hour, but I'm sure it is. I'm rubbish with names. Apparently the double depth is now normal first depth for blade depth, second test cut for auto pressure needed. Even the engineer didn't know, he had to speak to the programmer. Let me read that again because I didn't understand that. Apparently the double depth is now normal first depth for blade depth, second test cut for auto pressure needed. Okay, I maybe need to sit down and read that afterwards. I'm still not quite sure what you mean, Lynn, but so Lynn's saying, but you're the best, Ashley. Oh, thank you. Yours are the best tutorials, Barbara's saying. Bless you. We would all be... Where would we all be without the lovely Ashley? So Alison's saying. JD Cougar's saying, I so agree, Barbara. We are lucky. Ashley enjoys working with us. So Lynn's saying, I used Corel Draw for many years, then bought the ScanNCut, and I've learned an awful lot more through playing too. That's basically what you have to do. You just literally have to play with the software. Sorry, that noise was Hannah just coming in and then going out again. So no doubt Eddie will start creating in a minute now because he's sat looking at her going out the door. Eddie? It's the scanner, isn't it? Definitely. The scanner is what makes it all worthwhile, definitely. The background scan, I think, is genius. The amount of times I put different bits of card on a mat or different bits of paper and just use that background scan. I think it's probably the most used. Sorry, I was turning away from my microphone then because I was looking where the damn dog was. It's probably the most used function I use on my machine, the background scan. It really is. Heather's saying they always say to save files in 3 different places because USBs and hard drives do break, sadly. Think it is great that we have free access to a cloud-based online. Definitely, yeah. I do love the Brother. I don't really use the scanner much. Not totally happy with the mats. Wish the machine would accept the Cricut mats. Also a lot cheaper. That's Maria. So I think, I honestly can't remember, but I'm not so sure whether I saw a hack on YouTube about using different mats in your ScanNCut machine. I honestly can't remember. But it's funny, isn't it? I think the stickiness of mats is something that no one's ever going to be happy with, because I've heard a lot of people say that they think the Cricut mats are a lot stickier than the ScanNCut mats, but then I've heard other people complain that their Cricut mats don't stay sticky for long enough. So I guess at the end of the day, it's how much you use your machine, what type of media you use, because some cardstock, I know we've discussed this before, some cardstock is more fibrous than others. So if you put a piece of card on your mat that's more fibrous than another type of card, that more fibrous piece of card is going to take the stickiness off your mat quicker than the other one would. The other thing is, obviously, if you're cutting a shape that's 3 inches by 4 inches, let's say, don't put a piece of 6 by 6 or A4 on your mat, because every time you put that card on that mat, it's taking away the sticky. So if you were cutting something that was, say, 3 by 3 or 3 by 4, just use a piece of cardstock that's 4 by 5 rather than 6 by 6 or A4. So, you know, it's just, we all use our machines in different ways, don't we? So I've just seen, it says quick question. So Rachel's saying, quick question, does anyone know which one is better, Brother or Cricut? Thinking of Christmas prezi, never used a Cricut. So Rachel, my honest answer is I don't know, because I've never used a Cricut. However, if I was going to buy a Cricut, I'd buy a Maker because of that rotary blade, and because it can cut chipboard. But I think you have to do several passes, which you'd have to do, I think, with any machine, even a ScanNCut. But I am still waiting for the rotary blade for the ScanNCut to become available to test that out on fabric. But you know, if I was going to buy a Maker, I'm not saying I would choose a Maker over a ScanNCut, and I'm not saying I would choose a ScanNCut over a Maker. If I had neither, and for whatever reason, I was going to go for a Maker, maybe say based on cost, because I think the Maker is probably cheaper than the ScanNCut, although I don't know. It might not be anymore. Or a Cricut machine, I would say I would go for a Maker. But no doubt, I mean, there's people on here that use Cricut, so no doubt someone will tell you. And you'll probably find that they'll say they each have their place. So I guess if you have access, Rachel, to be able to go and maybe see one in use, you know, maybe go and see if you could watch some demos or try one out. Maybe see if you can do that. So Lynn's saying, to Rachel, scan and cut every time. The scanner is the game changer. Yeah, that's what I would say. Because I like I've just said, the background scan in particular is the thing I definitely use the most. Rachel's saying, I do love the Brother, don't really use the scanner much. Not totally happy with the mats, wish the machine would accept the Cricut mats, we've done that one. The scanner is priceless for saving paper and using small scraps. Barbara's saying, don't think I would change, but my mum was thinking of a Cricut. Well, I would say if she's going for a Cricut and she's got the funds, go for the Maker, because I think the Maker is their top of the range. And then you've both got one of each, and if you live near each other, Rachel, you know, you could both try each other's machine out and see what you think. Alison D saying, I don't know how I'd manage if I had to give up my Big Pro. Can you imagine? I know. I think I would definitely be stuck without mine for sure. Sorry, I'm just looking what Eddie's got. He's got his ball. You could hear Hannah. Yeah, she came in for something. I don't know what, but she's gone again now. So the background scan is the most used, I think. Yeah. Ashley, what type of dog do you have? Ellen, I have an English show Cocker Spaniel. Did you not see him last week, Ellen, or the week before when I showed him? The scanner is the only reason why I bought the Brother. That's why I bought a Scan and Cut Bonnie. As soon as I saw when they launched it in the UK and saw it had the scanner, that's why I changed to the Scan and Cut from my Puzzles machine. So Leslie's saying, I converted a Cricut mat to work in the Brother. There you go. So Leslie's tried it. Read the double... Oh, okay, let me read this again then. So, read the double depth test cuts that we thought were a problem. Okay. The double has been introduced to correct problems cutting thicker materials. So the first test cut is for thickness and the second for... Oh, I get you now, Lynn. Thank you. Okay, so that's interesting. Leslie's saying they are much more sturdier. I'm guessing that's the mats. I have the same... Rachel's saying I have the same mat for 2 years now and use an alternative mat with no problem. Alison D is saying, when I first had my Scan and Cut, my little niece wrote something and I sent it through the scanner and put the pen in to write. I framed it for her to keep. It's in her bedroom. Yeah, it's brilliant. I did that with something. What did I do? In fact, I think I made it into I made it into a file and I used it as glass etching. So like you could say, get her to write, you know, love, whatever her name, or happy Christmas mum, or happy Christmas dad, or something. Scan it, cut it out in vinyl, and then use glass etching and put it on a glass. I've done that when Hannah was little. Just give me 1 minute while I just open the door again for this little monster. Just so we can have a little run around outside. So Charlotte's saying, recently I've had problems even finding a new standard mat. No local store, so it's got to be online. We need a lesson on mat replacement. Okay, so they're asking Rachel or Leslie. It was Leslie, wasn't it? She was 6 and it was something about her family. Oh, that's lovely. Well, I still maintain once you've got an electronic cutting machine, you can do so much and just make so much personalised stuff for people. So Cherie's saying, Alison D, that's a lovely story, makes it all worthwhile. Definitely does. I've got the rotary blade with my new machine, but don't use fabric. I guess I'm going to have to find some time and try it out. Oh, brilliant. I'm still waiting for my rotary blade to arrive. It made her mummy, my sister, cry. Oh, see, that's what I mean. It's just priceless, isn't it? Just something so simple like that you can turn into something so personalised. It's brilliant. Love it. Does the Cricut draw? Yes, it does, doesn't it? You can Cricut pens, you can draw. Marcia's saying about paper, I read somewhere someone mentioned they loved Hammermill paper. It is super smooth and I think you get super cuts. Okay, so there's another tip if anybody, where'd you get Hammermill? I used to use, before I started using all my Stampin' Up cardstock, which does cut nice on the ScanNCut machine, I used to use cardstock from the paper mill. And in the UK, years ago, they used to have shops and you could go and fill a box full of cardstock and you paid a flat price for it. And I used to know which card cut lovely, so I used to fill literally a box with all the same type of card. Then I think they closed all the shops, and I think in the UK now you buy it all online. And I think it was called linen. It was white, and I think it was called linen cardstock that I used to buy from them, and that all was cut lovely in my ScanNCut machine. But now, as I say, I use Stampin' Up and that all cuts lovely, whether it's designer series paper or cardstock, it all cuts fine. Nora is saying, hi Nora, don't think I've seen you here before, or I've not seen your name before. I've always put quilting spray glue on the mats when they're not sticky anymore and had no problems with that. Am I doing something wrong here? No, I don't think so. If it works, I for years have used the Zig 2-way jumbo tip glue pen, but I've now moved on to the Pinflair stencil glue, mainly because it's just a lot easier to get. But you know, if you find something that works, all as I would say is if you're using a spray, make sure you mask off, you know, the ruler that goes round the outside of the mat, you know, where the 4 grid sections are, the 6x6 grid sections, and then there's a ruler that goes round the outside. Mask off that and the outside before you spray it, because if you get spray over those edges, that spray can then be picked up on the rollers when your mat's going in and out of your machine, and that, you know, may cause you a problem. So that's the only thing I would say about using sprays. Charlotte's saying the choice of machine depends so much on what you want to do. So it definitely does, yeah. ScanNCut for me is far superior if you are a paper crafter. From what I've heard, the Maker is great for fabric. And that's what comes over to me, Charlotte, as well, for the Maker. And that's why I'm waiting to see what the rotary blade for the ScanNCut's like, to see if it's, you know, good, because if it is, then we've got everything, haven't we? We'll have a decent rotary blade, we've got a scanner, and we've got a good machine as well. But yeah, Vicky's saying, hi all, I'm really late. I just watched a series of 4 videos by brothers showing how 2 ScanNCut models work wirelessly to send cut files back and forth with their top embroidery machine. Interesting. I think, can't remember that lady that's the ambassador. Oh, is it Angela Wolf or somebody like that? I think they had something. I think it popped up in my recommended, but I didn't watch it. But I think they were showing how to use a ScanNCut with an embroidery machine. So maybe, was it that one, Vicky, maybe? So Marcia's saying, I bought a Joy because it's small and have limited space. Yeah, definitely. Cherise saying May Flom. Okay, so she's a brother ambassador as well, yeah. Explain the rotary blade. It will work for cards as well. Okay. Eddie. Eddie. Hang on. Eddie. He's a devil. He's trying to get into my pansies that are in a pot container on my balcony. And the best of it is I've put another pot upside down underneath it to raise it up off the ground. And I think he's actually sat eating a pansy now. Goodness sake. Right, let's see what else we're saying. Ellen's saying, lovely, no, didn't see him. Okay. Well, if I can get a grip of him before I go in a minute, I'll let you see him, Ellen. Nora's saying, I saw the doggy last week. Oh, thank you, Nora. Can you use the rotary blade on the CM model? Not as far as I'm aware. I believe it's only for the auto blade machines, Maria. Oh, I've just seen Cherie's answer now. No, it needs to be the auto blade. Which machine do you have? Is it CM? I can go through a mat in a week when designing. So Lynn's saying, I can't get mats here in Spain, been waiting weeks. Last I got from Germany, but shipping €20 for 3. Have makers not got any, Lynn? Because they'll send to Spain, won't they? Marcia's saying, my penmanship is awful, so I really like the fact I can write a sentiment that one can actually read. How do you convert the cricket mat? I got the mat from Amazon. Oh, so Marcia's saying bought hammer mill from Amazon. Okay. So I'll have to go and have a look and see what that's all about. Rachel's saying I use the Pimflare, I can't even speak, Pimflare stencil glue. I'm a favourite, everyone, my painkillers are calling. Thank you to everyone for your sweet words. Oh, thank you, Ashley, for being... You're welcome, Alison. You know, I'm just even glad that you were able to come and be with us, because obviously I know you're struggling. So bless you, and yeah, go and get your painkillers. Say hi to Jim and go and have as much rest as you can possibly get. Let's see what else I'm missing. So Leslie's saying, I converted the mat by using an old ScanNCut mat, cut the centre out, leaving all the registration marks, and then secure with masking tape underneath. Okay, so that's, there you go. You could try that with it if you've got... What are you doing, mister? Have you come to say hello now? So if you've got an old ScanNCut mat that's past its best, try that. Everyone's saying take care to Alison. Brother engineer told me the rotary blade was just for fabric, not for cardstock. Okay. How old is Eddie, Marcia's saying? He is 13 weeks old, Marcia. It wasn't Angela Wolf that time, but she does weekly lives. Okay. Everyone's telling Alison to take care. Charlotte's saying, you little devil, Eddie. Right, hang on, I'll pick you up now. Let me move my chair so you don't get run over. Hang on, hang on. Right, come here. Come on then. Oh, come here, mister. Right, don't touch anything on my desk else you'll cut us off. Right, let me just move my keyboard and everything, and I'll try and show you this little monster who's getting bigger by the minute. So I'm going to close down... Eddie, wait. I'm just going to close down all the canvases and put this little devil on my desk and tilt my... hang on, I need to tilt. I can't tilt my Mac anymore, so I'll pick him up. So for anybody that hasn't seen him, this is Eddie. Now I need to read the comments. No, I need to read the comments on my phone. You're getting, I know you want your tea, I know. I'm going to go now in a minute. So let me speak to the people. So, right, you can go back on the floor now, mister, and I'll be with you in a minute. Right, wait 1 minute. Oh, my word. Right, so, I'm going to have to get my tea. Yeah, me too. You are as bad as me. I talk to my boy too. So now you've seen him, Ellen. Corinne's saying such a cutie. He is beautiful, but he is a devil with his biting. I know, I'm going to get you your tea now. Just wait 1 minute. 1 minute. I know, you're starving. I starve you. Yes. Ellen's saying I would love a little dog like that. He's way too cute. And Marcia's saying, oh, love him. He's so pretty. He's such a handsome little chap. But he's like a little baby shark. And it may look dark, by the way, because I've literally only got a little side lamp on. So that's probably why it's... I realised that when I was talking to you all last week. Right. I am going to go now, though, if you don't mind, because he definitely wants his tea and I need something as well. So Cherie's saying, Ashley, to help you manage Eddie, make eye contact with him and firmly tell him no. Don't look away until he does. Right, I'll try that in a bit because no doubt he'll be trying to bite chunks out of me again in a little while. He still hasn't caught up to his feet. No, he's not. That's the worrying thing. He's getting bigger, and do you know what? He's getting so heavy compared to what he was when we first got him. To think we've had him 4 weeks. He was, hang on, no, we've had him 5 weeks. He was 8 weeks when we got him, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yeah, and he was 13 weeks on Friday, so we've had him 5 weeks. Eddie, what are you doing? I think he's trying to chew the carpet on the bottom of the stairs now. Right. So Leslie's got to go. JD Cougar saying thank you. Everyone's saying thank you. Right, I am going to go now. So to Cherie and Alison, take care, both of you. To everybody else, hope you all keep safe and well and take care. I'm going to go and feed this monster. I'm going to do what Cherie said. Look him in the eye, tell him no, and don't turn away until he does. And I will hopefully speak to you all next week. So take care, everybody. Thanks for being here, and bye for now.